Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're going to be starting Unit 4, Lesson number 7, and understanding what fraction of a group. So in the past you've been working with division a lot, determining that division is the creation of a number of groups, but today you're going to be focusing on the fraction of a group that these situations create. So I can tell when a question is asking for the number of groups and that number is less than 1. I can also use diagrams and multiplication and division equations to represent and answer what fraction of a group questions. So for this first group of questions, you're going to be given a series of ropes. So rope number A, rope letter B, C, and D. And each rope, as you can see, has different lengths. So you're going to be taking these lengths and making comparisons. Now let's take our first one. Rope C is what as long as rope D? So you need to determine how much longer rope C is compared to rope D. Now one way to do this question is you can always go ahead and take in Notability a copy and paste or a replica of rope D and see how many times it fits in. So it looks like it fits in 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. So if rope D is 3 and rope C is 9, that means that 3 is exactly, 9 is exactly 3 times longer than 3. So rope C in this situation is 3 times as long as rope D. Now the inverse, as you can see here, rope D is blank as long as rope C. Well, if we keep pasting our rope C's, or our rope D's I should say, you can see that they fit in 3 times, which means that rope C is exactly 1/3 the size, right? Because if something fits in 3 times, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, it makes it 1/3 the size. So rope D is 1/3 times as long as rope C. Okay? Now we're going to be doing something a little bit more challenging. This time we have rope A, and we need to determine or compare rope A and see how much longer it is than rope D. Okay? So let's go ahead over here to rope A, and we're going to make another paste, and here's rope D again. Okay, so what we can see is that rope A is longer than rope D. Okay, so rope A is 4 and rope D is 3, but we realize now that rope D does not fit into rope A perfectly, so there's going to be a fraction of a length here. Okay, let me just go ahead and make another paste, and we can see that rope D fits into rope A 1 full time, and if we were to divide it into 3 groups, we can see that it fits in 1 full time plus 1/3 of a time. Okay, so that means that rope A is 1 and 1/3 times as long as rope D. So as you can see, it fits in 1 full time plus 1/3 of a time. Okay, perfect. So multiplication and division equation. So we take our division equation, we understand that rope A is 4, and we divide that by the fractional length of 1 and 1/3, and that will get us the length of 3, which is the length of rope D. Now for multiplication, we understand that it is always the inverse, always the opposite. So instead of starting with 4, we can start with 3, and we do 3 times 1 and 1/3, which gets us 4. Okay, good. Well, now we're going to do the opposite. We want to determine rope D and how its length compares to rope A. So in order to do that, we're going to I'm just going to go ahead and erase some of this stuff just so it's not in our way so that we can see the diagram with a fresh set of eyes. Okay, so here's rope D again, our replica of rope D, and we see that it is, well, let's determine how its length compares to rope A. So rope A is exactly 1, 2, 3, 4. But rope D is only 1, 2, 3, which makes it what? Well, it makes it 3/4 of the size, right? Because 3 out of the 4 of the length measurements have been covered. So let's go down here and we see that rope D is 3/4 as long as rope A. Division equation, rope D is 4. Oops, rope D is not 4, rope D is 3. 3 divided by 3/4 gives us 4, or the inverse for multiplication, we see that 4 times 3/4 equals 3. Okay, so hopefully you are able to determine fractional lengths and compare them. Please use the tools available that Notability provides for you when doing this lesson. Okay, so in this next question, we are going to be creating batches of cookies. Excellent. Now for this specific batch of cookies, each one requires 6 cups of milk. Yeah, you know, these cookies may be a little on the milky side, but alas, it's what the recipe calls for. Okay, so for the first one, we have 12 cups of milk. Let's see how many cookies we can make. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excellent, and we remember that one batch requires 6 cups, so let's make our batches now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent, there's one batch of cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there is our second batch. Excellent. So with 12 cups of milk, we can make exactly 2 full batches. No fractions needed in that question. But something tells me we won't be so lucky on the next one, and I can already tell we won't be. So this time we are only given 8 cups of milk. Only 8 this time. So of course we'll have enough for 1 full batch because 1 full batch requires 6, but will we have enough for more than that? Let's find out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we have more than 6, we actually have 8, 7, 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and make our batches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So there's our first batch of cookies. But 7, 8, we don't have enough for another batch, okay? So, cool, we have 1 batch so far. Let's see here, 1, excellent. And what fraction of another batch will we have? Well, let's take our 2 last cups of milk, and we're gonna go ahead and copy that and paste it, just so we have a little replica, and we can see that 1, 2, 3. So these 2 cups of milk, 2 is actually 1/3 of 6 because 2, 4, 6. 1/3. So looks like we have 1 full batch and 1/3 of a batch left. 1/3 of a batch left. Okay. So that would be your answer. 8 cups of milk provides you with 1 1/3 batches of cookies. Okay? All right, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you feel comfortable about working with fractional lengths and that you can use your expertise to solve the problems for this lesson.